online crew. Today I'm going to share with you how I completely turned around my sales this month. This is part one of 2 videos that I'm going to do this week, and this part one today, focuses on what the hell was going through my head earlier in the month and how I turned that around. And then the second video I'm going to share with you in a couple of days' time is regarding the social media strategies that I actually executed to turn it around. Both are equally important. In everything that you do online, there's 2 things that you need to pay attention to. That's your mindset and your skill set. And one can't work without the other. So you can't be successful in this industry unless you've got the proper mindset going on, and you certainly need like the skill set with the content that you're putting out, the type of content, the consistency, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So I really, if you followed me for any point in time, you'll know that I share my journey because I'm in the industry, living and breathing and doing everything that you guys are doing. And so I share with you my successes. I share with you my downfalls. I share with you what's helping me, get my sales and, be the number 1 enroller in my company in Australia and New Zealand, which I have been for the last 4 months. And also when it's not working so well, which was sort of the beginning of this month. Now, from when I turned up live here, was it last week? I don't know whether it was last week or the week before. I shared with you, like, I'm not having a good month, and what was going on. And I have completely turned that around in the last 2 weeks. So I want to share with you why, because I think this is really important for people to understand in the industry what it takes to get that kind of success or get some movement and get some momentum. And I've got my momentum back. So the beginning of this month was dismal. And now I've got my momentum back and getting all the sales again. So what is it that I've done to achieve that? That's what I want to share with you. So I hope this is going to be helpful for you to sort of listen to my journey through this video and my next video in 2 days' time, putting the skill set and the mindset sort of together. Before I go on and share these, I've got 5 things I want to share with you today. Just a reminder, this is kind of the very last day to inquire about my VIP mentorship program, which does exactly what I'm talking about. It works on your mindset and your skill set. You could have skills, but if you don't have the right belief, you don't have the right mindset, you don't have the right kind of leadership skills, you won't build a successful business. And the other, the other flip side of that, you might have a good mindset, but you don't have the right skill set yet. So you're like, yeah, you've got all the energy and the belief and that's all going on, but you don't know how to do what you need to do. So skill set and mindset, because I'll say this, if you already knew what you needed to know in mindset and skill set, you would already be successful. So why aren't you where you want to be right now? What is missing for you? So that's why sometimes you need to work with a mentor who's already getting the results, because they can speed up that learning curve and you can stop wasting time spinning your wheels. So if that's something that you need to do, reach out to me personally or drop the words VIP. This is the last day to show interest in my VIP mentorship program because we start that tomorrow. Well, the 1st of April, depending on what time zone that you are in. So I can work with you closely for 6 months. We can turn all of that around. You can get the kind of results maybe that I'm getting by working on your skill set and mindset, because we've got to work on both, okay? So reach out if you want information about that. This is the very last opportunity, and then the doors close for the next 6 months, okay? So what I want to share with you about turning around my results in March and getting that momentum back is, first and foremost, nothing changed with the company. Still the same company. Nothing changed with, kind of my upline, downline, whatever. Nothing changed with the compensation plan. Nothing changed with what was available to me. What changed was me. Okay, so some of you are looking at external things as the reasons why you can't get results in your business. I don't have my branding yet. I don't really know what to post, or whatever excuses are running through your head. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with you and your mindset. So the first thing I had to fix when I came back home from Chicago and get my butt into gear again and turn things around this month was me. Okay, it was nothing changed. Like beginning of the month when I only had one sale for the first 2 weeks in the month versus the end of the month where I'm getting all these sales now and I'm back in my momentum, nothing changed other than me. So the first thing you need to get in check is you. And these are the things that I had to think about. Firstly, what's running through my brain and what might be running through your brain at some point in time is, what's the point? Now, I could very easily, and I kind of did in the first couple of weeks, because I've been the number one enroller for the last 4 months in a row. So you kind of want to keep it going when you've got that on. But like the first 2 weeks were dismal. I had one sale in the first 2 weeks of March. And it's kind of like, well, what's the point? I'll just let this month go. That is a silent killer. If that runs through your brain, if you get to the end of the month and you go, what's the point? I'll start again next month. No, even one sale at the last day of the month is commission in your pocket, I'm sure, depending on your comp plan. But never, ever allow yourself to say, what's the point? Even when you get to the end of the month. Don't say, oh, well, I'll just start again on the 1st of April. Well, it's not really much point now. I'm not going to rank up. I'm not going to do this. Like, what's the point? What's the point is a silent killer. Every day is a new day. And every day you should be striving to do something to get yourself a sale. So that's where I was at earlier in the month. It's kind of like, well, what's the point in running for number one enroller for this month? Because I've already blown the first 2 weeks. I had to get over that. Okay. So that's in my head. So if you're ever thinking, what's the point? I'm not going to get to the rank now. It's the last day of the month. You got to check in with your own head with that. You need to lean in instead of pulling back. Doesn't matter what day of the month is, you lean in instead of pulling back. That's number one. Okay. Number two is I was kind of justifying my own inconsistency. I'm busy. I'm traveling. I'm in a conference. All of those kind of things. So when you say that, you stop posting, you slow down, you stop following up. I stopped voice messaging. I stopped doing all the things that I was sharing about. I think it was this video last week. I was sharing with you kind of like how I dropped the ball. So you kind of justify to yourself why you're not doing things. But while I was away and while I was traveling and doing all the things, was I still on my phone? Of course I was. Was I still scrolling? More than likely. So was I still on my phone and had my phone available to me the whole time I was traveling? Absolutely. Was I sitting in airports for hours waiting for flights? Yes. Could I posted while I was sitting around? Yes. Like mentally, the worst thing you can do is justify your own inconsistency. I'm too busy. It's not convenient. I'm traveling. I'll do it when I get home. Don't justify your own consistency. Again, lean in instead of pulling back. The third thing I had to get in check is it's easy to kind of lose a little bit of belief when things aren't going well. So it's amazing what it does to your brain and the damage it can do to the thoughts. Okay, so this is the crazy part, because I've already proven that I can get the results in the 4 months prior, and I hit this month and I'm already losing belief in myself because I only had one sale in the first 2 weeks. Like what that does to your head, like, these things that I spoke about just before in number 1 and number 2, you can actually start to lose belief in yourself. And this is crazy because you've got good things to offer. You've got good products. You've had results before, if you've had results before, like I have. Like it's crazy for me to lose belief in myself this month because I've already proven that I can do it. So I had to quickly get that in check. It's like, stop making excuses, stop justifying your inconsistency, stop saying, what's the point? Get your ass back in the game. Okay, basically, you lean in, you don't pull back. So I had to kind of get myself back in the head game. Instead of overthinking and hesitating, I just had to get myself back into action and get in the game. Does that make sense? So losing belief in yourself when you're not doing things is just ridiculous. Okay, you got to lean in and do the do to get the results and create the momentum, which I've done now. The fourth thing, avoidance. You start avoiding things. You start avoiding posting, avoiding following up, avoiding, doing what you need to do. And you disguise that as, I'm really busy. I don't have time. I'll get back to it, or I'll start fresh next month. Like, you actually, it's kind of related to the second one. You're justifying the inconsistency. So you're avoiding things. Your avoidance is being disguised by you thinking you're busy. Okay, we can't do that. You've got to have a really good workable DMO, and you do that DMO no matter what. And that's what I got back on track with. Okay, so I stopped kind of justifying my own inconsistency and just got back in what I knew worked. And regarding the social media side of things, in what I did worked, that's what I'm going to talk about in part 2, not tomorrow, but the next day. So watch this video and the next video. Okay, but the first thing you always have to do if you want to pick up, get better results, get back in the game, it's your head you need to get in right first before you can get the action. Okay. And the last thing is really letting emotions dictate your actions, like giving into the lack of belief, giving into those thoughts. Oh, well, half the month's gone. I've blown it already. Why bother? Like, just doubting yourself. I don't know if I could do it. What's the point? All that kind of negative thinking, that's just, I'm letting my emotions take over rather than really leaning in and doing the things that I know I need to do to get the results, because I already know it works because I've done it before. Does that make sense? So we can't give in to our emotions. If you live your life by emotions, I was going to say a word then, but I probably shouldn't say that online. What's a different word that I can say? You're not setting yourself up for success. It's so not the same kind of saying it politely, but you know what I mean? If you let your feelings dictate every day, you'll never do what you need to do. You'll never kind of lean in like you need to. You'll always be giving into your excuses, because your brain is designed to keep you safe and stay away from things that are uncomfortable or don't feel good. So if you don't feel good about your business, if you've got a lack of belief about, what you can achieve, you're busy and you're overwhelmed and you've got all these feelings going on, you won't do what you need to do. Your feelings are the ones that are ruling you, and that's not going to serve you well. So my feelings, the first part of March, let me down. Nothing to do with the company. The fact that I had dismal results for the first 2 weeks of March has got nothing to do with the business or the company I'm in, and everything to do with me. The last 2 weeks of March, how I've turned that around, and I've got my sales back and I've got my momentum back, and I've completely turned this month around in the last 2 weeks, is everything to do with me. So do you get that? If you want your business to turn around, if you want to be back in action, doing the things that you know you need to do, you cannot give in to your feelings. You have to lean into discipline and action, whether you feel like it or not. I should have taken more action while I was away, while I was traveling. I could have, but I got in my own head. It's not the right time to post. You're busy, whatever. There's always times to fit in, to do a story, to do a post, to follow up with somebody, to just, walk away and leave a voice message. I could have done more, but I'm proud of myself for turning it around the last 2 weeks, because the last 2 weeks compared to the first 2 weeks, poles apart. We'll see if I can maintain that number 1 spot this month. I don't know, but poles apart. Okay. And it's first and foremost everything to do with me and my head and leaning in instead of pulling back. Okay, so think about all of that kind of stuff. Where are you in your business? Are you leaning in and doing what you need to do regardless? Or are you pulling back thinking, what's the point? It's the end of the month. I'm not going to rank up anyway, whatever. Like, you should be doing everything you can just to get that one sale at the end of the month. Stop justifying why you can't do things. Stop justifying the overthinking and start getting yourself back in the game. I've completely turned my business around this month because I got back in the game mentally first. And then physically with the action that I took, that's what I'm going to explain in my next video this week, not tomorrow, the next day, all the social media things I did to get back in the game. Does that make sense? But your mindset has to come first. As I said, nothing changed in the company from February to March. I changed. My action changed. I pulled back. I made excuses. It was all to do with me. So I get back from my trip from Chicago. I got back in the game. I'm mentally like, game on. Let's go. Let's get back on track. Let's post like we know how we know to post. Let's follow up. Let's voice message. Let's do all the things. All of that, like the skill stuff, I'll explain in a couple of days. But both those things have got my head back in the game and completely turned this month around. So where does that sit with you? What do you think you're missing? Is it the mindset piece? Are you justifying your overwhelm? Are you justifying your inconsistency? Are you justifying the fact that you're busy and you don't have time? They're all excuses. You're just pulling away instead of leaning in. And when you pull away, when you continue to pull away, like some of you, you stop turning up on team calls. Oh, I'll just watch the replay. That's the worst thing that you could do. You need to get on team calls to get the vibe, to get the energy. Borrow your leader's energy before you get your own. Get inspired. Get back in the game. Okay? I can't tell you, like, I'm just living and breathing this, and the difference from me from the first 2 weeks of March to the second 2 weeks of March is all to do with, one, my head first, and then my action and my skills secondly. Okay. I hope this helps just one person watching this video with maybe a little bit of a mindset shift that you need to make to get yourself back in the game rather than continuing to pull back and justifying why you can't do things. And remember what I said before about your brain. Your brain is designed to keep you safe and not do things that make you feel uncomfortable. So your brain will always give you the excuses. It will give you that language in your head that says you're too busy. You've got other priorities. It will, or that feels a little bit comfortable to do that reel or that story or send that message or voice message, or I don't feel like posting. That's what your brain is designed to do, and it's keeping you safe. So unless I talk about this kind of stuff and make you aware of that, you're always going to let yourself down because your brain is always going to keep you safe from doing the things that are uncomfortable. But it's the uncomfortable things that actually will bring you the action that will bring you the result. Am I making sense? So you've got to say, thank you, brain, for keeping me safe and talking me out of doing that reel, but I know I need to go and do it, or I know I need to go and do that story. Like, you don't feel like, you're hardly ever going to feel like doing it. And if you give into that, you're never going to get the results that you want. Okay, so get yourself back in the game. We're at the end of the month. There's still time. Go for that one sale for the end of the month and then get back in the game from the 1st of April. Okay? Thanks for your confidence, Jody. We'll see whether I still make number one this month. I'll let you know at the end of the month where I'm still able to maintain that. But, what I'm proud of, whether I do or I don't, is I wasted 2 weeks in March, but I've got back in the game and the sales are flowing again. But it was totally up to me to turn that around. Like, it's totally up to you to work out what it is that you need to do to turn your sales around. Firstly, it's mindset. Secondly, it's skill set. And if you're missing both of those things, come and join me in my VIP mentorship program so I can work with you on those things. Okay. Doors are about to close for that for the next 6 months. If that's something that you need from somebody that's living and breathing and doing it, and you know that you can help me, reach out to me. Okay. So stay tuned for part 2 of this little story, if you like, on how I've turned my March around. I don't think I'll know by then whether I've still hit number one or not. But there's social media stuff that I've done has made a big difference in the last 2 weeks as well. So join me for part 2, not tomorrow, but the next day, to sort of listen to that side of it as well. So I hope for at least one of you, we can get your mindset back in the game by listening to this video. So it's over to you to lean in and take the action. I'll see you for part 2 in 2 days' time. Bye.